Okay, get ready for this. We're about to connect two worlds that seem like they're universes apart. The absolute latest in artificial intelligence and a truly stunning performance art that's centuries old. And trust me, this connection, it's going to change how you think about both. I mean, you remember that feeling, right? The first time you use something like ChatGPT. You type in a question and boom, a smart, creative, totally coherent answer just appears. It felt like, well, it felt like actual magic, a real leap into the future. And that wow moment, that was felt by millions of us. But here's the wild idea. What if this brand new technology isn't so new after all? What if, at its core, it's a digital echo of a mental feat that humans mastered ages and ages ago? So here's how we're going to unpack this. First, we'll dive into this ancient art, Avadhanam. Then, we'll make the big connection to AI. After that, we'll put them side by side for a direct comparison. And finally, we'll talk about what all of this really means.
All right, first things first. What in the world is Avadhanam? Well, it's probably one of the most incredible displays of sheer mental horsepower you've never heard of.
So at its core, Avadhanam is a live performance. But the stage? The stage is the performer's mind. You have one person, the Avadhani, who takes on challenges from a whole crowd of questioners, called prashakas, all at the same time. And listen, we are not talking about simple trivia questions here. We're talking about composing complex poetry on the spot, solving math puzzles, having perfect recall of every single question asked, all while, someone's ringing a bell at random intervals, and the Avahani has to keep a running count of that too. It's like a mental Olympics. And this is where it gets really wild. It scales. A performance can start with 8 questioners. Then it can go up to 100. And some masters can even handle 1,000 or more. Just try to picture that, one single human mind juggling 1,000 different inputs at once. A single processor handling countless different queries, composing poetry, solving problems. Does any of that sound familiar? Let's get to the heart of this and see how this ancient art was basically reborn in code. Okay, here it is. This is the big idea. Modern generative AI, the AI that creates stuff like text with ChatGPT, or images with DALL-E, or video with Sora, it's basically a functional replica of Avadhanam. It takes in all these different inputs and creates new coherent outputs. The only real difference? The scale. AI is Avadhanam for the entire planet. All right, let's put this theory to the test. We're going to break it down piece by piece and really see how deep this comparison goes. It's the Avadhani versus the algorithm. So first up, the performer. In Avadhanam, you've got the Avadhani, a real person who has spent a lifetime training for this. In the digital corner, you have the AI chatbot, which is the super complex system of code and models. And what about their training? Well, the Avadhani's training is all about deep, structured learning and discipline in arts and memory. The AI's training, on the other hand, is about brute force scale. Its brain, the large language model, is fed a ridiculous amount of data. We're talking over 300 billion words from the internet just so it can learn patterns. And the performance? You can see the parallel, right? The Avadhani creates poetry on the fly in a classical language like Sanskrit. The AI creates a poem based on what a user types in. Both are creating something new on demand. One is doing it from consciousness, the other from code. But here, this is where the difference is just staggering. Scalability. A master Avadhani can, at the absolute peak, serve maybe 1,000 people at once. Generative AI, it can handle hundreds of millions of us, all at the same time. It's the same fundamental performance, just amplified to an unbelievable degree. And that completely changes the relationship. You see, Avadhanam is a many-to-one model, a big crowd watching one genius. But AI is many-to-many, millions of us all having our own private conversation with our own instance of the AI. But this brings up a really important question. What happens when these systems get something wrong? The answer to that reveals maybe the biggest, most fascinating difference between them. You know when an AI hallucinates and just makes something up? We have to rely on external things to fix it. Filters, human feedback, regulations. But for the Avadhani, that correction process is internal. It's handled by something called antha-kadana, which is like the mind's own internal toolset for reason and context. It's a feedback loop happening right inside their head. And really, it all boils down to this.
One system is built on an internal, conscious mastery of knowledge. The other is built on external controls and just vast, vast amounts of data. It's the difference between true understanding and just really, really good pattern matching.
So that leaves us with this final thought. We've gone and built this incredible, world-changing technology, and it turns out it's a planetary scale mirror of something the human mind could already do centuries ago. So what does that tell us about the incredible power we've had all along, right inside our own heads?